Hi, everybody. It's Jean, and I'm back to say hi and Happy New Year because I think this is the first one I've published this year. I may have published one a little bit earlier, but I just haven't had time to look. I have just been so swamped. But this is the second part of the Happy Mail from Sheila B. And I just put this together real quick when I had a few minutes in between trying to get myself together and get out of the house and on my way. Um, I really did love all the stuff that she sent. And you can see on the corner there, in the upper left hand corner, the envelope that she sent everything in. It was so beautiful and so perfect that it actually looked like it was a pre printed envelope. But it wasn't. And when I looked closely, it was actually um, made by her and painted. It's a painted, hand painted envelope. So I couldn't possibly not use it. And I cut out the back and put it aside, and then use the one side there on the full page. And I'm just going to kind of glue it all together, all the pieces on there, to make a full two-page spread with just the envelope as the background. I really, really loved it. Um, I saved all the little pieces, and I had fun putting it together like a little puzzle. But I'm doing the voiceover because as I was chatting along with you while I was working on this, there was my son. My son came in and started talking, and we were chatting away, and I had forgotten the um, phone was recording everything, so I certainly couldn't use that or edit it out all the different chit chat. And of course, the dog was barking and this and that, and so anyway, I just decided to do a voiceover. So there's not a whole lot to say about this, so I might have to just tell you about what's been going on with me while we watch me just kind of put this page together. And if I think of something that's important to say about that page, or something that I'm working on, I'll jump in and interrupt. But I was freezing, of course, as everybody else has been in Ohio, and when I got the car packed and ready to go, it was 5 degrees below zero. And so I had a full day's drive to get to North Carolina to visit my daughter. And I took off, got kind of a late start, so I was almost 11 o'clock by the time I finally pulled out. But on the way out of, I never, ever, ever have car trouble. But I had stopped to fill up the car with gas, and then just about 20 minutes later, I'm pulling this big giant mountain in West Virginia, and I'm driving up the mountain, and the car starts kind of cutting out and spluttering and doing all kinds of crazy things. And so I moved over to the edge of the highway into the, off the highway there. I was barely off the road, but anyway, the car just died. And I tried to start it 3 times, and it wouldn't start, the car wouldn't go, wouldn't do anything. So I'm sitting there thinking, of course. And I look at my watch, and it's 17 degrees outside. So it was definitely warmer than the 5 below from Dayton, but still, it was very cold to be stranded on the side of the road. So I called AAA and told them that I was in a very dangerous position because my car wouldn't start, and there seemed to be something wrong with the engine, and I definitely was going to need a tow. And they better hurry because I was freezing because I couldn't turn on the car to start the heater. And of course, I emphasized how elderly I am and, and how dangerous a situation this was being on the side of the road. So I waited. It was probably a good hour before a patrolman finally pulled up, and he, um, I felt like, oh, good. Can I get in your car? just want to be, I just want to be warm. But he said, did you try starting the car again? And I said, no. I said, I tried 3 times. It would not start. It wouldn't even turn over or do anything. And he said, well, let's see. Let's try it again. And I turned the key and it started right up. I'm like, oh my gosh. And I'm just dumbfounded. So he said, let's see how it runs. He says, I'll follow you and we'll just go up the side of the road here, up the mountain, and see if it takes off. When you get up to speed, then you can move into traffic. And there's an exit not too far over the hill. So I said, okay. And I did that, and the car just drove like a top, just like it's supposed to, and right up the hill, and got into the traffic and made it all the way to the exit and turned into a gas station. And I says, I don't know. I says, it drove perfectly fine. I don't know what's wrong. And he said he thought maybe there might have been water in the gas tank or water in the gas that I had just purchased. Possibly that was the problem. He said he's seen something like that before, but he didn't know, he says, you can't fix something that isn't broken right now. He says, I guess you'll just have to keep going and you can call AAA and let them know that you don't need their assistance anymore and just keep going. So, of course, the rest of the trip, this was about halfway into the trip, the rest of the trip I drove on on the right side of the road, just barely with my heart in my mouth, think as I went around trucks, thinking I don't want to get stranded now in the middle lane. Um, but I stayed pretty much in the right lane all the rest of the way there. But I didn't have a bit of trouble. I didn't have any trouble while I was there for a week. And even though it's just as icy cold in North Carolina as it was in Dayton, I mean, a little bit higher temperatures. But I was just freezing, freezing, freezing. And so anyway, I was there for a week and enjoyed a visit with my daughter and daughter and grandchildren and my son-in-law. And we just did all kinds of fun things. And then yesterday, I headed home for Florida. And boy, I'll tell you, not a bit of trouble on the road at all coming home. But as soon as it hit 51 degrees, because I'm watching on my watch what the temperature was outside, and we got so far south. I mean, I saw snow all the way down to the Georgia line when I first. I mean, all through North Carolina, South Carolina, and into Georgia, I saw snow. So I mean, it was still pretty cold. But then as I got into Georgia, the temperature kept going up, and when it was 51, I rolled down the windows. I'm going 80 miles an hour with the windows down, thinking, oh, it's so warm, it's so warm at 51. but but anyway, I drove and I made it. I went directly to my sister's house because while I was gone, she finished cleaning out my mother's house and had dumped a bunch of stuff in my house because it was so close. And so she said, everything's a mess, and if you just come to my house, I'll give you dinner and a bed, and we'll both go over in the morning and get it sorted out. So that's what I did, and it was very nice to be in Florida again and see her. And even when I got there as late as 8 o'clock, it was still in the 60s. So it was just wonderful weather. And then today, when I got to the house, the first thing that happened as I walked up to the front door is I stepped on a nail, a rusty nail. So I've got a nice puncture in my foot, and I thought, oh my gosh, what a way to start off. But when I pulled up to the house, the roofer finally came. He was supposed to re-roof the house in November, but he didn't get to it, and now he's in the middle of doing it. And so there was all kinds of equipment in the yard and all that. And everything, just was a mess. We could hardly get into the front door. We had to move things. And I stepped on that rusty nail. So that was the first thing. I had to clean up my foot and hobble around, and we got everything all cleaned off. The got the room all cleaned out and all that. But as as we finished, I walked to the front part of the back part of the kitchen dining room and realized, my gosh, the ceiling is caving in. Apparently, that one part of the roof leaked, even though it had been repaired, and it leaked water and it damaged the ceiling. So, that has to now be fixed. And fortunately, my nephew is a contractor, and he said he'll take care of it next week while I'm on my cruise. So I said, oh, good. So that will be taken care of. But tomorrow I have the roofing guy to finish the finish roofing and hopefully clean up all these nails. Because after she and I finished, then I went down to urgent care and got my tetanus shot and an antibiotic so I don't get any infection and all that in my foot. And of course, now I'm going to have a little sore foot to walk around on um, uh, while I'm on my cruise next week. So it's always it's always something, isn't it? So anyway, isn't this? I'm just looking at this, and I just really love those little frogs. I really did love those little frogs. They those are something that I cut out of a storybook and just wanted to use it. And I thought I'd use this one little frog as a little tuck spot, and the other little frog is on there solid. So that was really kind of fun. And I just really love those little frogs. And I thought they kind of went with the theme too a little bit because the nature theme, because it's the flower and the hummingbird and all that. Now this little card is one that she made for me too, and the other hummingbird card is one that she made. So anyway, after I got home and I went shopping and got my had been at urgent care getting my foot seen to. I'm carrying in all my stuff from the car that I brought with me, a couple suitcases and some plants and this and that. And wouldn't you know, I stepped on another nail that was, sitting upright because these are roofing nails and they're like a flat, square, um, they're flat and square. They're not tiny like a regular nail head. It's a big, like a ½ inch by a ½ inch flat piece of tin, and they sit right on that, and the nail's sticking up. So now I've got a puncture in the other foot, but no need to go get another tetanus shot. The one tetanus shot will do for both. And I had put on sturdier shoes, so it barely grazed. I think it's not nearly as much as the other, but it did go through my shoe and into my foot just a little bit. So, um, welcome home. So, but it's nice. I'm here in my home that I shared with my husband, and I feel close to him in this house because this is a house we shared. And of course, you all know he passed away 3 years ago, a little more than 3 years ago. And so the new house that I have up in Ohio is just mine. It's all my things and things that I bought for that house. and I didn't bring too much of what we had here. So it was nice to come home to this house with all of our things that we've bought together, and things from his family and things from my family. And it was just really nice to come home. And of course, it was wonderful to be in the nice warm weather. It was 74 degrees and even a little humid. In fact, I had to turn on the air conditioning because I was going to just let the doors open to air out the house, which I was so happy when I got home because there weren't um, any dead things in the walls. Two different times I've come home to like an animal has died in the attic or something, or a bird in the eaves or something, and you can smell that smell, and there's nowhere can't ever find it. So anyway, but I came home this time and the house smelled just fine. It wasn't even stuffy. It, so I was glad because I really couldn't open the doors because it was actually kind of humid because it rained. So so I had to put on the air conditioning, and it's actually just even a little bit chilly, and I can turn it. But that's where my life is right now, and I only have just a couple days. I've got to do all kinds of things to get ready now for this cruise this weekend, and so I don't really get to have a chance to do much here. So I'll be away for probably 2 weeks from now before I'll be able to put up another video at least, because I'll be on the cruise for a while, and then when I get home I have company for another week, so it'll be a while before I can really get to doing another video. But I might take some video of us painting and so forth when we're on the ship, so that might be something I can upload. But I'm not sure that I'm going to get to being able to do a video for you for a little bit. But then when my sisters are gone and I'm home here, I will have the whole month of February and the whole month of March and the whole month of April to just be focused on my art and videos, and just get to do whatever I want, whenever I want, because I won't be tied up with a lot of family and obligations and things that we're doing and this and that, and having to wait for someone to go home before I can narrate a video or do some painting or whatever. So um, I'm kind of looking forward to the solitary life for a while, just kind of to regroup. And not that I don't love my family, I absolutely love being up with the family, and surrounded by children and grandchildren and activities and fun things. But it's hard to fit in, and I know you all are busy people, and you know how hard it is to fit in art when you are so busy. And it's probably some of the most fun things I ever do. Now, in this thing, I was trying to fit in this little picture, um, and I don't know why I wanted to fit that in. It doesn't fit in anywhere there. And as you can see in a minute, I take it out and move it. Um, I'm not sure now what I'm doing there, but I just thought I'd catch you up a little bit with my life while you watched me put together this page. Oh, I did. I love those. That kind of turned out very cute. I cut the little edges off of a picture that were it was a silver edged picture. And I cut the edges off and put them all in a row up there, and it really turned out very cute. I was really pleased. that's stuff that you normally just throw away, and I found a way to use it. I was very happy with that. I was just happy with this page. I was happy the whole time I was making it. I really love the dots. I think that's my little signature is dots. I just love to do the dots on everything. I put dots always along the edges and the borders and all that. But anyway, um, but I just want to say thank you again for watching and for being with me. I think, yeah, I'm not actually quite done. I can't see on this exactly where I'm at. Oh, I think I've got a few more minutes yet before before it uploads. I mean, before it finishes. So, um, I should probably put some music on because I really don't have a whole lot to say. But uh, I ended up getting everything in, and my jewelry box had turned upside down on the ride home, and my groceries fell on my plants, and it was just one thing after another. So today was quite a trial, but I was very happy to go uh, to the doctor's office, and I asked them how much it was to get a tetanus shot, and they said um, $75. And they said, but if I asked if you just want to get the shot, he says, but if you're seen and they evaluate the wound and they do this and that, um, and it's considered an office visit, and then you just make a copay of $30, and then we bill the insurance company like $280 or something. And I said, well, okay, I guess we'll do that because that's quite a big chunk that I only have to pay $30 instead of 75, and I also get my foot treated. And as it was a good thing because he said that I did need an antibiotic to take, which I wouldn't have gotten had I just gone in and gotten a shot and left. So, so that was good. But I thought, isn't that just crazy? It's the very same thing. I go in, and what I go in for is a tetanus shot. And if I do it this way, it costs me $75. But if I do it this way, it only costs me $30, but it costs the insurance company a huge amount of money. So I thought, what is this world coming to? It was just like that. It's just craziness. It all, it should have been more to have the office visit and see the doctor and have your blood pressure taken and get a chart going on you and all that. Should have been more money, but it was more money for the insurance company, but less money for me. So, but I was glad. I certainly want to keep any extra money I have for my vacation. And oh, I ended up putting that on there, and that little square thing, and I didn't get a close up of it. It's just a pine tree in the snow, so it did fit better on this page. And then I added that little ho ho ho, and I think I drew in some buttons coming up here on the snowman. I love to outline. Outlining everything just makes it stand out. It just defines it, and I don't know why. It just looks so much better with just that little bit of outlining. Oh, that ho 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 had been on the envelope, and when I took it off the envelope, it tore. So normally, people just throw those things away, but not me. I've got to fix it and tape it and repair it, and I still have it. And it was pretty gold color, and it was just nice. So there we go. So I'm adding a little more definition to it, making it stand out a little bit better. I did have fun with that page. That little donner there, I believe I mentioned it in another video, that is a paper towel. So it's not something I drew. It looks like something I drew and probably could draw, but no, it's a paper towel that I put on there, and then I drew everything around that. And it's just kind of just a little fun wintry page. Now again, once I put on these, I like the idea because it looked like the snowman is facing forward and looking off to the side. But before I had those on there, it did kind of look like the snowman was sideways. So I don't know. But that was the first page of stuff that Sheila B. sent me. And then the one I just made was the second page. So anyway, I'm done. I just want to say thank you all for watching. And be sure and like the video and give me a comment. Bye-bye.